Alright, so we're finally getting cracking on that TT02 FRD build. And if you checked out the unboxing, you're going to see that I went with the OMG electronics. This was purchased locally here at Galaxy Hobby. And again, all that information is going to be below, so all our local guys are going to link up with Leo or Galaxy Hobby, and anybody outside the GTA should just pick it up off eBay. So all that's been soldered. I'm going to throw that to the side, makes it easier for the video instead of doing that on footage. Alright, so the servo, we're going to pop it out of there. Make sure we have all our gear prepped. I did have to drill out the servo horn to get the ball end to snap into there, but that's a quick fix. Aluminum, so it drills easy. Get our screw there for the horn. Alright, there's the servo horn. Alright, so throw that to the side and we're ready to get cracking on the big package here. So this is going to be pretty quick build. There's not much to it. 99.9% of it's done. We're more or less just throwing some electronics in and doing some tuning later. I've had a couple buddies run this already, and they say we got to go a little bit softer on the rear shocks, so play with that. But this video here mostly be just the installation, getting everything ready for the track. Alright, so throw that to the side. Don't need that manual. Alright, so here we're going to get our servo placement. Here the, what do you call it, the servo posts were a little bit off, so I had to twist them to get it to fit. And that was the struggle on that there. Sorry, I'm off camera with, with the rig. We'll be back in a second here. Just straighten out those posts. Alright, there you go. So the posts are straight, and the servo slams right in there. So you're going to make sure that the horn is further away from the steering, so that way you get your optimal angle. That's what it's been set up for. So here, I don't know why I put that retainer on there. I thought that's where it went, but it doesn't. There's not not enough room. That's a stopper for wheel turning radius, I guess you'd say. So once I put that, took that spacer out, everything seemed to work fine. Maybe I should have thrown a look at the manual. Alright, so there's our final screw there. Sorry, this is the final screw. Alright. So, first of all, we're going to have to get that bumper off to be able to get the motor in. Alright, looks like we can do it easier from up here. So 2 screws from the top. The retaining place falls out of place. Move the foam and slam in the motor. I know there's probably different ways of doing this, but this was a less intrusive way of getting it done. And for this setup here, the motor does not have a pinion. What it does have is a pulley. So I put the pulley in there before pushing the motor through. You get 1 screw in there, and from there all I ended up doing is turning the top pulley, which ended up throwing a belt up and over on that. So that was a pretty quick one. So motor has 2 screws, 1 each side. A little bit hard to get at here, but if you have a long enough driver, you can bypass all the stuff that's in your way, which I did. So motor's in there, and as you can tell, the pulley's on. Everything's fine. So now on for the bumper. So we're just going to reassemble as we took it off. 2 screws. Everything's nice and secure. And now we're able to move on. Get us a little bit more room here. Try to line up the camera to get the best angles here. Alright, so wiring was a little bit short, so what I had to do is I tipped up the posts. So instead of soldering it from the front to back, I just lifted up the post and soldered it straight down. So that way it gives me enough room to get those wires to go over the shock tower. Same thing with the sensor wire. So the sensor wire, I went with actually this one was a little bit longer. I went with a 270, but Andy used a 230. He said it was perfect for his. So 230 mm for your sensor wire is going to be perfect on this. Alright, cut off the excess double-sided tape here. Get our blade and get the top off. That's always the hardest part, getting the film off, because it usually pulls it off of the the device you're trying to stick on. Okay, push that back into place. Tuck in the leads and the wires later, as always. For now, we're just getting everything secured onto the chassis. Alright, now on for the RX. So this we stuck this way, and you're going to see afterwards I'm going to move it because it doesn't allow enough room for the gyro. So gyro ultimately has to be on the tail end of your rig, and it is close to the center line of it. So your servo lead goes into the into the gyro, and then the other end goes into your steering port on your receiver. And there, most of these always come with a little tab. Spectrum doesn't use the tab, so you got to cut off the tab at the side of the lead so it can fit inside the receiver. There, see, you can't get it in properly here, so you have to move that. There you go. So, two-sided tape in line with everything else, and I put the receiver on the opposite side to hold it into place. Now onto the steering. So I'm going to snap the ball end onto the link itself. Try to get that done here. Alright. So best thing to do before you start doing any of this stuff, saves you the headache later on. Power on your rig. Make sure everything is centered before you screw on that servo horn, which I already did off camera. Alright, so everything's in. Leads are tucked. Zip tied. Nothing's in the way. So now we're going to get some wheels on this guy. So for now I'm going to be using the stock wheels. Might change that up a little bit later, but for now I'm happy with these. Test it out at least. Alright, so there we have the body posts. I'm excited to show you guys the body. I think you're going to like this a little bit different. So there's the other rear posts. And all this is, here's a countersunk screw with a washer behind it to hold it in place. Very quick and simple. There's the other front one. Alright, so I'll lock up the body real quick and we'll cut out our holes. There we go. We'll be back after. Alright, so here we're going to do a once over on the rig. Hopefully the camera cooperates and we get to zoom in. You guys can see all the nice little tidbits. There you go. Come on, anytime now. Anytime now. There we go. So it looks like a ball's nest of wires. Or a nest of wires, should I say. But we got some airflow. We should be good. The steering, no binding, full lock. Alright, focus there too. There's the front, and like I see those, like I was saying, those motor wires are soldered straight up and down to allow for room around the shock towers. Nice rim. Those wheel nuts are really nice. We got full lock. You gotta look at the arms. Can't wait to get this guy on the track. Alright, so try to get intel on the pulley so you can see. So instead of being a pinion to the motor, it is a pulley that goes up to another pulley and a belt. So it makes things a little bit smoother. Right there's our battery tray with that big O-ring around it. Then we have the shaft going to the back. Get a look at that a little bit there. And we have that rear diffuser. Andy took his off. I don't know if I'm going to take mine off. We'll see. Might also put on those weights. There's a kit that comes in for the rear to add some extra weight. But for now, we'll leave it as is. Get a look at the bottom here. All nice carbon fiber. Very clean. The steering is just insane. Alright. So now, I'm going to slam the body on there now that we got the posts all drilled out. I know a lot of people love the stealth mounts. Maybe one day I'll jump on them, but I don't know. Maybe I'm not skilled enough a drifter to be able to run stealth mounts. Every time I see people out there, they're always knocking the body off, so on and so forth. So, less trouble for me. I drill some posts, put some body clips in there, and it's in. But not to say that I won't do it and it doesn't look cool. I do see a lot of them that look very nice, but for me, I'm a body post kind of guy. Go on, slam that in there. That's the only downfall about the body post. You're committing to it. And I'm pretty good at lining up the bodies. Been doing it for a while, but you're not always dead on. He's going to fidget and play with stuff. So here, this is ultimately the body posts are a little bit on the soft side, so that doesn't help either. But other than that, the body's nice and lined up. Set everything down. Might have to play with the right height of the body afterwards, but for now, it looks pretty slammed. No tractor gap here. And the light buckets, that'll be coming soon. So for now, I just wanted to throw that on there so you guys get a good look at what it's going to be. So we should have this on Andy's test track soon. I'll leave you with that. Guys, thanks for watching. Please thumbs up and subscribe.